welcome back everyone to this school year's last edition of Seahawk Central News, UNCW's top source for campus news, entertainment, and sports. I'm Genae Randall.
And I'm Sarah Lively. Remember to stay tuned to tealtv.org to catch up on all the latest Teal TV news, as well as how to get involved with us next year.
This week, we will bring you a recap of some of Wilmington's Azalea Festival events, as well as a look into what the Chancellor's installation is all about.
And not only that, but we will also head over to the sports desk with Ben Tyson and the rest of the Seahawk sports team and catch up with the latest movie reviews by Chris Vickery.
Stay tuned because Seahawk Central News starts right now. 5 UNCW faculty members have collaborated on a project that just may change students' perspectives on aging. Through science, technology, engineering, arts, math, and aging research, UNCW's Face Aging group puts on display the process of the face aging technology with the Face Age project. The exhibit will give students the chance to see what it's like to physically grow older and even turn back the years. Faces from 2 very different generations are presented in Warwick Center and will continue to be on display until this Sunday.
The North Carolina Azalea Festival was held last weekend all over Wilmington. Many events took place, including a morning parade and circus. Teal TV's Logan Spaller was able to attend those events and was granted an interview with a very special person in the middle of all circus fun.
This past weekend, the Azalea Festival came to town with a variety of festivities for North Carolinians, including the annual Azalea Festival Parade, the Cole Brothers Circus, and an eventful street fair in downtown Wilmington. The festival draws in over $50 million for the Wilmington area, with more than 300,000 people coming to town. I spoke one-on-one with the ringmaster of the Cole Brothers Circus about the show.
Right behind us, this is America's oldest big top show. We've been around since 1884. And of course it is a circus, and it's under the beautiful red and gold big top. And we're probably the last of the real big top shows left in this country as well as the world. A lot of them are a little smaller or one ring. And here at the circus, our copyright, you can probably see it up there. It says the world's largest under the big top. That's been around since 1957, that copyright.
So what's going to happen in the circus tonight, do you believe? What kind of entertainment's going to go on?
Well, you know, the show never changes. It's always, well, every year we change, but every day we do 2 or 3 shows a day, and we try to entertain children of all ages, something for a little of everybody. But of course we have big elephants. We have about 5 elephants, 6 elephants altogether here. We have 12 tigers, Royal Bengal tigers and Siberian tigers. We have clowns, myself, the ringmaster. We have 2 young ladies named Petia and Wendy, and they hang by their hair. But there's all kinds of stuff at the circus. World's largest cannon, motorcycles, with the Wheel of Destiny, and poodle dogs too. Everybody likes poodles. I don't know why, but they do.
After today's performance, it was quite clear that many, old and young alike, enjoyed this performance. It included lions, tigers, elephants, and poodles even. Until next time, I'm Logan Spaller, reporting for Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
Former American Idol winner Scotty McCreery and Grammy Award winner Kenny Loggins highlighted this year's Azalea Festival concert performance at our very own Trask Coliseum. Jill Capadanno got the chance to catch up with Scotty before his show at Trask on Thursday evening.
UNCW welcomes Scotty McCreery for the 2012 Azalea Festival. Welcome, Scotty. It's great to have you here. So I just was wondering, what is it like to be back in your home state of North Carolina and be headlining the concert for the Azalea Festival?
Oh, it's great. You know, I've been out on tour now for a while, and so I've gone all around the country, but there's nothing like coming back to my home state of Carolina and seeing the fans and the people that really pushed me through American Idol. You know, the votes around the country hopefully were coming in, but I think Carolina was a big part in it.
So are you watching American Idol this season? And if you are, what do you think of the contestants? And are you going to be making another or an appearance on American Idol this season?
Yeah, I'm watching it, and sometimes we're on the bus and we can't catch it, but I'm trying to catch as many as I can. And the contestants this year, they're great. I've been in their shoes, so I know how they're feeling and stuff. But it's cool watching it. And I actually was on the show a month ago, a few weeks ago, something like that, and got to perform. So that was cool getting back. It was like a family reunion, so it was fun.
And I'm sure many of our women viewers would love to know if you are currently dating.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a busy guy, and the music industry is tough, the music industry. So I'm just trying to focus on the music right now, and who knows what'll happen, but, it's just hopefully it'll happen down the road.
Okay, I made a joke with my friends. Today is National Kiss Day, and my friends are huge fans of yours. I'm not asking to kiss you, but if you could just give me a kiss on the cheek, just to make them really jealous. Thank you. It was nice meeting you. Jill Capadanno, Seahawk Central News, TLTV.
UNCW's student musical production is set to take the stage. The Department of Communication Studies and Readers Theater present the musical Working from Thursday, April 26th to Sunday, April 29th. This diverse student-collaborated production is based off of the Studs Terkel novel, Working, and stage play by Stephen Schwartz. UNCW faculty member Frank Trimble directed and choreographed the production with music by performer Lynn O'Connell. Working will run at 8 p.m. in the Lutzy Hall Television Studio, room 125, and is free for all UNCW students. A 2 o'clock matinee will also be offered on Saturday.
As the end of the semester quickly approaches, so many of us are excitedly anticipating summer break. But what do graduating students have to say as they're closing this chapter of their lives? For the last time, let's check in with graduating senior Rachel Nagle for this week's Talk on the Walk.
As the year comes to a close, I, like my fellow Seahawks, have gained knowledge and experience outside of the classroom. I'm out here on Chancellor's Walk asking them what pieces of advice they would offer to our incoming freshmen.
And one piece of advice for freshmen, don't drink and drive.
One piece of advice I would give to incoming freshmen is be yourself. Don't be afraid to get involved in clubs and try to find people who are similar to you, because it'll be easier on campus if you know more people.
And my advice to freshmen would be to get involved on campus, join a club, an organization. That's how I've met all my friends so far, and it's just a really awesome opportunity.
A bike is definitely necessary to get around on campus.
I would say just be true to yourself and stick to the morals that you've grown up with, the things that you believe in, and don't let school change you. Don't let this bigger world impact you and change what you've always believed in.
One thing I'd offer to freshmen is use all your meal swipes before the end of the semester.
Try to figure out what you want to study as early as possible and make sure you get your prerequisites out of the way. I kind of got caught up and I got behind, and because I knew I wanted to major in computer science and I didn't really do much research, and I took some of the wrong classes and now I'm a little bit behind. So do that, and also learn how to invest your money and to be smart with it and not spend too much. Especially the more you save now, it'll double, triple, infinitely more money when you're older.
Personally, as a senior that's preparing to graduate, and because this is my last episode, my advice to any freshman is to take advantage of everything that UNCW is offering you. Get involved in clubs and sports and different activities and explore your interests, because now's the time to do it, and your time here at UNCW will be over before you know it. I'm Rachel Nagle for Seahawk Central News, TLTV.
Atlantis Magazine will be releasing 2,000 copies of its spring issue on and off campus beginning April 20th. The magazine features submissions of art, photography, poetry, and prose, and showcases the creative side of contributors. The quarterly publication is excited to release this new issue.
UNCW celebrates the installation of Chancellor Gary Miller through a series of events taking place during the entire month of April. As UNCW's 4th Chancellor and 7th leader, Dr. Miller leads a campus-wide initiative to maintain the university's values while meeting strategic and economic goals. TV's Trevor Bray met with Chancellor Miller to discuss his first year at UNCW and what he has in store for the future.
I'm Trevor Bray, here with the Chancellor of UNC Wilmington, Dr. Gary Miller. Mr. Miller, thank you so much for joining us
It's
today.
my pleasure. Thank you for coming over.
Would you say it was an easy transition coming to Wilmington?
I think so. We have really great leadership here, and the people have really welcomed Georgia and me to town, and we wanted to come here, so we're very excited. That doesn't mean we haven't had challenges, budget cuts and usual challenges, but I think as transition goes, talking to friends of mine around the country, this has been a really good one.
Going off of installation, I know that is taking place the whole month of April. What other events are taking place?
Oh wow, there are somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 events that we collapsed into the month of April. These were events that were going on anyway. They're musical events, faculty and student musical events, plays, appreciation evenings, some evenings to honor faculty and community leaders, and just a whole array of showcasings of faculty and student research. It's very exciting.
Do you have any advice for students as the dreaded final exams are approaching?
No. You know, it's been a while since I actually took final exams, but it seems like UNCW students have this down pat. They know what to do. Last year, when this was last semester, I went over to the library during exams because I wanted to see what it was like, and it was fascinating. The place was packed, and in fact, we have opened up an auxiliary library facility over in the Dub for the nighttime hours during this exam period.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, there'll be food service over there, and it'll be so people can go there and study as well, because that was one of the things we heard from students. There weren't enough places to study. So I think when you go back to the dorm or back to the apartment, it's not quite as easy to study. But good luck, and I think I do know if you succeed here, you'll succeed in your career, because this is a great education.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking
the
time
pleasure.
to talk
Thank
to us.
You for coming over.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Trevor Bray, here with Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
The official ceremony for Chancellor Miller will take place tomorrow morning at 10:30 on Hoggard Lawn.
Hawk It Out was held last Thursday in Keenan Auditorium. Teal TV spoke with Malik Sanford, a coordinator of the event. There were 8 acts, including dance routines with styles of hip-hop, jazz, breakdancing, African, and belly dancing. Troy Butler and Keela took home the first place honor. Chris Cantrell came in second place. As always, the judges added great fun to the evening, and this year's judges were Nate Miner from Housing and Residence Life, Vice Chancellor Pat Leonard, and also Courtney Gartner. Guest performances were given by Dance Company, Slante, and Physical Graffiti. Congratulations to all of those who won and participated. Sounds like a fun night for all.
Let's see what interesting facts finance professor Ed Graham reveals about himself in this week's Professors in Focus.
My name is Ed Graham. I'm a finance professor at UNC Wilmington in the Cameron School. I've been teaching here since the fall of 1998. Fishing. I would love to teach a class in fishing, preferably offshore fishing, saltwater fishing. That'd be a great class to teach, or to create if one doesn't exist. I can envision the syllabus now. I go fishing sometimes. I do yard work. I read far too much. That's something that I've done, I guess, too much since I was a child. "10 or 15 minutes after class had begun, I heard a cell phone ringing. And a number of the students looked towards one section of the class, and it was amusing. It was embarrassing for the young lady whose cell phone rang. But I remember her looking at me as she exited the classroom. She picked up her cell phone, and as she exited the classroom, she held the cell phone out and she confronted the class and said, "This is important." And frankly, I was a bit intimidated by her remarks, and I said nothing. As she exited the classroom, she had gone a few feet into the hallway. The entire classroom broke into uproarious laughter. I know that that laughter followed her into the hallway. I cannot imagine her embarrassment. She never returned to class that day, and I have to confess, happily I've forgotten her name. If I remembered it, I wouldn't tell you. But I have to confess that she withdrew from the class after that very first class. The embarrassment was too much for her. were I asked what is the strangest thing to ever happen in a classroom to me, that'd probably be at the top of the list. I'd also say that on the evening of 9/11, the country was in a bit of turmoil, and I remember that I went ahead and had class that night. We had a television playing in the classroom. Mine was the only class going on a regular schedule that evening in the Cameron School. 4 of the students that came that night were not registered for my class, but just needed a safe place. It frankly was very satisfying to me to have class that night, to have near perfect attendance, and to have 4 uninvited visitors. That night, although I did not let the students drink, I recall we opened the windows in the back of 212, and I told several of the students who seemed a bit panicked and who wanted to excuse themselves to have a cigarette, I wanted to keep them in the classroom. They smoked in the classroom. It was great.
A Grammy-nominated artist is bringing her talent to UNCW. Tomorrow night, Friday, April 20th, jazz singer Karen Allison is scheduled to perform in concert along with the UNCW Big Band. Allison, who has scored 3 Grammy nominations throughout her 20-year musical career, will sing in Keaton Auditorium at 8 p.m. The performance is part of the Arts in Action performance series and is one of more than 40 that are to take place in honor of Chancellor Gary Miller's installation.
UNCW students had an opportunity to listen to 2 musicians on the rise last week as Kirsten Capra and the band Nautilus came to play at the Warwick Center. Teal TV sent Seth Wigley to check it out.
Music is a powerful social tool conducting harmony among listeners everywhere. It highlights the venturous struggles and successes of the human experience to which we can all relate. Today, I will spotlight 2 featured Wilmington artists, Nautilus and Kirsten Capra, as we explore deeper beyond the music products themselves.
Nautilus is a small-town band seeking to have a Spartacus-type impact.
We just always try and make the best music that we can make in our practice space, and try and just do the best we can and come at everything with a lot of passion, and I think that's one thing that we have going for our band is we're all very passionate about the music that we write. So I think that might maybe differentiate us from other bands that maybe aren't quite as passionate. But we don't really try and think about what other bands are doing. We just try and focus on what we can do rather than what other people do.
Kirsten Capra is an expressive artist exposing passionate vulnerability in her music.
Inspirations from my songs come from my pain, my views on love, everything I experience has its way of coming out through music.
Yeah, so basically it's just true emotion.
Exactly. You got away with the words, smiles worth 1,000 of them.
Nautilus and Kirsten Capra, 2 artists with 2 vastly different approaches to music, still sharing one common goal: to create an influential product. It just goes to show there's more to music than meets the ear. This is Seth Wigley reporting for Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
Let's switch gears and head over to the sports desk for the last time with the latest athletic news. Ben, take it away.
Hello everyone. I hope this final broadcast for the 2011-2012 school year finds you doing well. Now let's get to the good stuff. We'll start things off with a big announcement from the women's basketball team. Head coach Cynthia Cooper-Dyke resigned on Tuesday, April 10th after leading UNCW to back-to-back Women's National Invitational Tournament appearances. She decided to move closer to home and accepted the head coach position at Texas Southern University. The trip down Interstate 20 will surely be bittersweet as Coach Cooper-Dyke leaves behind a legacy that to a lot of people may feel unfinished. Athletics Director Jimmy Bass talked to Teal TV on the day of the announcement.
Coach Cooper-Dyke talked to the players and told them face-to-face at 3 o'clock this afternoon in the locker room. Pat Howie and I were present when Cynthia finished and immediately talked to the young women and again challenged them. We let them know how important this program was, not only to the university community, but to the greater Wilmington community. Coach Garrity, who is the interim head coach, spoke to them And we certainly expect them to continue to go to class, to finish strong academically. They're in the middle of off-season conditioning. We want them to continue working hard with that. Again, we're committed to continuing the success of this program.
Coach Cooper Dyke made her mark long before becoming a Seahawk. She was a college superstar at the University of Southern California, a gold medalist in the 1988 Seoul, South Korea Olympics, and averaged 21 points per game in her 5-year WNBA career, while becoming the league's inaugural MVP in 1997, and followed that up with another Most Valuable Player award in 1998. Associate Coach Jimmy Garrity will take over on an interim basis. As you can tell, the college coaching carousel is in full swing this time of year. After former Charlotte Bobcats coach Larry Brown expressed interest in coaching the Southern Methodist Mustangs for next season, rumors began to swirl that Coach Buzz Peterson would follow him there as an assistant head coach. Perhaps realizing that going from head coach of a Colonial team to assistant coach of a Conference USA doormat is neither an upgrade nor a lateral move, Coach Peterson squashed all rumors on Monday, April 16th with this statement. Quote, "I'm enjoying UNCW tremendously and plan to be here for a long, long time. It's always difficult this time of year when many positions open, but I want everyone to know that I'm not a candidate for any other job, period." End quote. Classic Buzz, and I hope all you students, faculty, and fans come out to support this man and his team next year. He's a lot better than Benny Moss, that's for sure. Moving on to Diamond, where the Seahawks faced off in the Kenny Powers Bowl on April 10th versus Coastal Carolina. I call it the Kenny Powers Bowl because, as I'm sure you all know, Eastbound and Down's third season was filmed primarily in Wilmington on our campus and in Myrtle Beach at the Coastal Carolina Stadium. Let's take a look at the highlights from the matchup versus the Chanticleers.
Seahawks coming off a sweep against James Madison on the previous weekend. We'll start things off in the bottom of the fourth where Sloan Gilliam grounds to Jay Caney. Great play made at first by Hunter Ridge with the scoop for the out, inning over. Seahawks get out of that jam. We'll move on to Ryan LaGrange, the Laney product at the plate. Grounds it up the middle. The shortstop, Brian Pruitt, returns the favor for the Chanticleers. That's an out. Here, Michael Bass at the plate for the Seahawks, number 6, with a hot shot down the left field line. It would bounce around the corner as the outfielder, the left fielder for Chanticleers, has problems with it, bobbles the ball, allowing Bass to slide in headfirst safely for a triple. The next play later, a little bit later in the inning, Matt Campbell at the bat. He hits a ball to deep center field for the always exciting sacrifice fly. Put one on the board for the Seahawks. Bass would score. A little bit later, number 12, Tyler Molinaro, showing his speed on the base path. He's safe. Hunter Ridge is the next batter up. He will ground it to the right side, picked up by the first baseman, bobbles it, race to the bag. He's out. Great play made by the Chanticleers. Then here's Daniel Bowman with a deep fly ball to center field, to the track, to the wall, and he's out. Seahawks win 5-4.
On Friday the 13th, the Seahawks open up a 3-game home series versus the Hofstra Pride. The Seahawks won Game 1 10-3, backed by a strong pitching performance from staff ace Tyler McSwain. McSwain improved to 5-2 on the year, allowing 2 earned runs in 6 1/3 innings for the quality start. Hunter Ridge led the cracks of the bat for the Seahawks, going 3 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Saturday brought Game 2 of the series, and the Seahawks wore orange to support the Miracle League of Wilmington. The jerseys were auctioned off after the game, with the proceeds going to the Miracle League. McLeod Brown has the highlights.
Starting off the game, the Hofstra Pride with a double steal full in the Seahawks D. However, it would be for naught as on the next play, Matt Batts struck out number 10, Matt Reistetter, one of his 6 Ks on the day. Then for the Seahawks, Jake Caney is hit by the pitch, which would start a little bit of a bad blood between the teams on Saturday. Following that, Matt Campbell is thrown out at first off the pitcher deflection. However, Canning is able to come in for the run, making the score 1-0 Seahawks. Then, in a controversial play, number 24, Jared Hammer of Hofstra is hit by a Bat's pitch. However, the umpire sees it as he intentionally stuck out his elbow to get hit by the pitch, not giving him the walk. The Hofstra skipper would disagree with the call and would show the umpire why. The two would then continue to get into each other's face. We will show you the play again in slow-mo, where you can decide for yourself if the Pride player indeed stuck out his elbow. Well, the skipper continued to think that he did get hit by the pitch, even complained to the third base umpire before getting ushered back to the dugout. Let's return to the action where number 40, TJ Thomas, is legitimately hit by a pitch. The umpire sees this one as fair. Thomas writhing in pain on the ground. He's eventually helped up by the manager and the skipper, where he would limp off to the dugout. Giving the game some life then for the Seahawks, number 10, Hunter Ridge, gets a double off the wall. This would prove crucial to the Seahawks' win as they prevailed in a close one, 2-1.
Thanks, McLeod. The Seahawks won in the bottom of the ninth when Michael Bass singled up the right side of the infield to score Jay Koenig from second base. The Pride, however, avoided the sweep on Sunday with a 4-2 victory over the Hawks. The Pride improved to 19-5 overall and 9-6 in conference. The Seahawks fell to 20-16 overall, but are 12-3 at the top of the CAA standings. Moving on to tennis, where Coach Dubois' boys pillaged the Pirates of ECU last Thursday 7-0 in the Seahawks home finale. The Seahawks improved to an outstanding 12-1 at home this year. Rafael Aida, Chris Cooprider, Costa Blanc, Pedro Mole, Michael Riley, and Caio Pereira led the 41st-ranked Seahawks into the conference tournament, where they will be the number 3 seed. The women's team will be the number 2 seed in their conference tournament. The Lady Seahawks also sent out their seniors with a splash last Friday, beating UNC Greensboro 4-3 in their home finale. Olga Blank, Angie Seckley, Alyssa Ritchie, and Christina Riley picked up wins for the Hawks, while UNCG won the doubles points. Let's switch over to softball, where fortune changed tide for the Lady Hawks when they hit the road to play Towson this past weekend. UNCW tasted victory in the opener 3-0, with much credit due to senior pitcher Amanda Davenport shutting out the Tigers. The April 14th doubleheader was split as the Seahawks narrowly missed another win with a 6-5 loss. In the third game of the series, Towson edged out UNCW for a 2-1 score. The Lady Hawks now stand 7-34 overall and 2-10 in conference play. They will continue to grind out the season on the road as they play Drexel on April 21st. Let's go a little off cuff for this final segment. If one of your friends came up to you oozing excitement about one spring UNCW club team, which one would it be? Well, if you said rugby, you're in luck. Our very own Trey Owings just happens to be a clam digger himself. Here he is with the full report on UNCW Club Rugby.
The UNCW Club Rugby football team was founded in 1983 by Spanish exchange student Edward Alcala. With the support of a growing fan base, the relatively new sport has exploded in popularity. By combining effective social networking and a stunning 20-0 home record, the recipe for success has finally come together. The team has open practices every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. at the Gazebo Fields, and you can follow the team on Facebook and Twitter.
My name is Vince Faison. I'm the president of the men's club rugby team, and this is
Graham Joseph, and I'm the captain of the team. I'd let you know a little thing about the rugby team. We're currently the number 7 team in the nation for Division II rugby programs. We've had a great season so far. We're undefeated 20-0 at home over the last 2.5 years.
We had the opportunity to speak to a few other UNCW rugby players. Now, let's see what they had to say.
It looks like the sport's gotten pretty popular over the years. Why do you think in the past several years the team has blown up as much as it has?
Well, in the past 2 years, we've really had a really strong core group of guys, and that's rare to get, even with any team. Everyone's really dedicated.
I'm here with Luis and Carlos, 2 foreign exchange students from Spain who also play for the club rugby team. Now, Luis, I guess rugby must be pretty big in Spain. How long have you been playing the sport?
I have been playing like 10 years there, and the level is really different. Here's more contact, and also I think it's a different kind of rugby. And Carlos was playing with me too.
I have been playing for 11 years, but it's a different type of rugby. Here is more physical. People has been training more time in the gym or has been training more the physical part. While in Spain we are more centered in the skill, we are more focused on moving the ball and playing it faster.
The team's latest performance came in the form of a 21-20 victory against Appalachian State in the first ever Southern Rugby Conference Championship game. However, the team faces tough roads ahead as they match up against East Carolina in the first round of the 2012 National Championship playoffs. From all of us here at Seahawk Central News Teal TV, this is Trey Owings wishing you luck, boys. Bring home the trophy. Now, back to you, Ben.
Great work, Trey. Well, it's been a fun 3 years here at Teal TV. I want to thank President Josh Karns for everything he does behind the scenes. Nate, the great director. I want to thank Kelly Strawinski for being the editing machine that she is. I want to thank the entire Seahawks Central sports team. Arielle, Travis, Trey, McLeod, Dave Sorensen, Trevor Bray, Sway Thompson, Stephanie Rock. Thanks also to Jimmy Bass, Pat Howie, Joe Browning, and everyone in the athletic department for always shooting me straight and never giving us BS. I'm sure I left some people out, like all the coaches and professors that have helped me along this journey, but we're running out of time. Thank you, Sarah and Genae, for always being beautiful and full of light, and Sarah, always lively. So for the final time, Seahawks, keep on keeping on.
The Wilmington Information Technology Exchange and Conference was held this week and brought together more than 300 IT professionals to exchange ideas and discuss the latest trends. WITX exhibitors included representatives from UNCW and Cape Fear Community College students and faculty, and also technology vendors. As part of the WITX conference, an Ignite event was held for the first time ever in Wilmington and have been held in more than 100 cities. Ignite presentations only last about 5 minutes, and each presenter is challenged to cover a topic at a very high speed. The Ignite presentations brought a positive spin to the WITX conference, which was open to the public.
As the controversial issue of Titan America's plans to build a cement plant along the Cape Fear River continues to generate local tension and hype, Teal TV's Caroline Keith gets insight from both sides of the spectrum and takes a deeper look into how Wilmington could be affected.
You may have seen these signs on the back of cars, on lawns, throughout Wilmington. Titan is obviously an issue that has the entire Cape Fear community up in arms. Let's dive into the issue that's dividing Wilmington.
Cement, which Titan produces, is made with limestone, something that is precious to the Cape Fear, which is why Titan wants to move back to its vacant lot in Castle Hayne. Many on the local and national levels are upset. Grassroots organizations like Stop Titan and Citizens Against Titan are taking on the corporate giant.
Citizens, business owners, doctors, parents, students have come out and said no.
Titan promises big numbers.
About 120 million a year physical impact to the economy.
But will that number contribute or withdraw to the estimated $869 million earned by tourism each year?
You start to de-water a mine, you start to lower the water table in an area, and when you lower that water table, you start to have an impact on the wetlands.
Air pollution is a factor on the cement plant, especially since New Hanover County is the most polluted of North Carolina.
If it reaches a certain level of sulfur dioxide levels, we hit non-attainment, and that means that it's going to be really hard for more local businesses to come in.
Titan did receive their air quality permit, so Odom wants people to feel comfortable.
We feel very comfortable we can follow all the rules and regulations.
But others feel unsettled.
How can Titan's 12 million additional pounds of emissions decrease our levels?
Rallies, forums, and petitions are becoming more frequent as the heat rises.
Every single person in this community has a stake in this.
With a local election on the horizon, voting is the best way to decide Wilmington's fate. I'm Caroline Keith, Seahawks Central News, Teal TV.
UNCW spirit was extra high last Tuesday as Student Organization Appreciation Day was held from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Clock Tower Lounge. The event is one of many honored to be a part of Chancellor Gary Miller's installation. Chancellor Miller attended the event where students presented him with a gift. Refreshments were served and a student leader photo was taken to conclude the Appreciation Day.
Candidates for New Hanover County's county commissioners and school board took part in a candidates forum at UNCW on Wednesday, April 11th. Teal TV's Evan Lucas was there to catch the politics in action.
I'm here at the Meet the Candidates Forum in the Nursing Building, where several local candidates will discuss some of the hot topics this November. Let's tune in and see what topics are being discussed. At the Candidate Forum, many hot topics were discussed, including the possibility of baseball in Wilmington, a popular issue among UNCW students. John Evans, WCT news anchor and moderator of the event, told us that the decisions in local government can impact UNCW in the long run. Would you say there's any specific issues important to students on UNCW's campus that would be being discussed tonight?
Well, sure. I think you have to know where local government is when it comes to just community, when it comes to transportation, when it comes to education on the local level, because each one of these students who are on this campus came from a school which was governed by a school board.
Carol Ellis of the League of Women Voters expressed the validity of local government.
Local government has more influence on your life than either state or national government. We always hear about national government, but the local government has more influence on your life because it's right here where you are.
Later on in the evening, we spoke with Elizabeth Redenbaugh, who emphasized the importance of voting.
It's very important that we all pay attention to our local races, and I really encourage students at UNCW to start thinking about that and getting involved. I mean, you can always go to our candidate websites, just Google folks' names, go to the polls prepared.
One thing remains clear. The youth vote is very important in any local election. As many of the members who are running for re-election and the League of Women Voters told us tonight, when you go out to vote, you make a decision as to what you believe and who you support. Until next time, I'm Evan Lucas, Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
In this week's Critis on Campus, Chris Vickery discusses 2 movies that hit the box office last weekend. Chris, take it away.
Thanks, Genae. Welcome everyone to Critics on Campus, where we review the latest movies in the Wilmington area. I'm your host, Chris Vickery, alongside my co-host for the day, Anna Phillips. And as always, we did 2 movies this time around. The first was The Cabin in the Woods. It was actually written by some of the writers from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so it's got some of the supernatural and comedic flair of that show. But it's about, it's a slasher flick, basically, but it really just kind of plays with all the conventions of modern horror films and really kind of turns everything on its head. But what did you think of this one?
After seeing it, I can see where you're coming from in the slasher, turning of convention movies. But going into it, watching the trailer, I personally felt very misled about what the movie was going to be like. The trailer sets it up to be a Hunger Games type scenario where there's someone controlling the environment that the people are in, and we have to figure out why they're doing it and what they want. And in the end of the movie, I was just highly disappointed. So.
Yeah, I mean, I really loved this movie. It was funny, it was action-packed, it had the scares that, a horror thrill ride should have, and everything just hit its mark. I can see where someone who maybe isn't as tuned in to the movie universe may have been misled, but I think that, once you get in there, it's just too exhilarating of a ride to not just go with it. And, like I said, it was well written, it was well acted, and everything just looked great. And it's the kind of ride that once you get off, you just want to hop right back on and go again. But out of 5 stars, what would you give this one?
Well, for me personally, this wasn't my thing. I wouldn't give it above a 1.
And I'd have to completely disagree. I have to give this one 5 out of 5. This one just really blew every expectation out of the water for me. But the other movie that we did, Lockout, starring Guy Pearce and Maggie Grace, is kind of a sci-fi action adventure about the president's daughter being trapped on a space-bound security prison, like high-security prison. And the prisoners revolt, and there's all sorts of chaos, and then, Guy Pearce has to go and save her. But what did you think of this one?
I like this one better. The cliche plot line balanced with the futuristic prison, sci-fi kind of aspects of it really did something for me, but I think it was missing a lot of the storyline that would have made it more.
Yeah, I think this movie was really plagued by cheesy special effects, and CGI too. And overall, it just left me cold. There were a lot of cheesy one-liners that didn't work, a lot of storyline that just felt borrowed or really not well thought out is the biggest thing. It just seemed kind of like, we want to just have a really cool guy going around with a gun and fighting some inmates, and they didn't really think much past that. And this movie just was not interesting to me, had me rolling my eyes a lot. But what would you give this one out of 5 stars?
I agree with you completely. I would say 2 out of 5.
I'd have to give this one a 2 out of 5 as well. It does not beat Twilight for worst movie I've ever seen, but it was pretty bad. But As always, that's all we have for this week's reviews. This segment was brought to you by Carmike Cinemas. Stay tuned next time for more reviews of the latest movies coming to the big screen. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Vickery, alongside Anna Phillips. See you next time.
Hunger and starvation often go unlooked, but continue to be real issues that are prevalent in today's society. UNCW Center for Leadership and Service hopes to shed light on the subject with Soup for the Soul. And Christian Johns has the story.
Soup for the Soul, a program organized by CLEST to get donations as well as canned goods for the North Carolina Food Bank in Wilmington, North Carolina. We had the privilege to talk to Taylor Norris, who told us all about what this program is doing for our campus.
The Center for Leadership, Education, and Service is hosting Soup for the Soul, and this is a new event this year, and we just wanted to bring about awareness of hunger in North Carolina, and we have a speaker, Jeff Rose. He's from the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, and he's just talking about the issues that are faced with hunger. And everyone that comes is donating $5 or is bringing canned foods, and that's being donated to the food bank.
So if you're willing and able to help out folks that feed the homeless, there are definitely opportunities for you to do that. I would encourage you to do that. It's one of the more fulfilling things I think I've ever done.
Soup for the Soul was a success. There was $110 approximately raised for the North Carolina Food Bank here in Wilmington. I'm Christian Johns, Seahawk Central News, TLTV. Back to you in the studio.
For the last time, let's check in with graduating senior Laurel Servicky and see what events are up and coming on and off campus.
Welcome back, Seahawks, to the last weekend update. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather this weekend. For Friday, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 78 and a low of 57. On Saturday, you can see scattered thunderstorms with a high of 79 and a low of 60. And on Sunday, ending the weekend, you can expect isolated thunderstorms with a high of 69 and a low of 57. For events this week, on Friday, Lumina Theater will be showing Mission Impossible at 7 and 10 p.m. Also on Friday, you can watch Michael Escobar in his student recital in the Beckwith Recital Hall. For Saturday, you can watch the Cinderella Opera in Keenan Auditorium and on Sunday at 2 p.m. And also on Saturday, Lumina Theater will be showing The Artist at 8 p.m. For Sunday, ending off the weekend, Jacob Hurley will be having his student recital in the Beckwith Recital Hall at 4 p.m. Looking ahead at the upcoming events, the theater department will present Margot Veal by Lynn Jenkin. This show will run April 19th through the 22nd and April 26th to the 29th in the Cultural Arts Building. Showtimes are at 8 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Also, ACE will be holding their Festapalooza Carnival event on April the 30th. This event is free from students from 6 to 9 in the gazebo fields. This concludes the weekend update. It's been a great semester, and I hope you all have a wonderful summer. Back to you, Genae and Sarah.
Thanks for that final update, Laurel. Well, Seahawks, that is all for this semester's last episode of Seahawks Central News.
On behalf of everyone involved with Teal TV, we would personally like to congratulate and say goodbye to the following members who are graduating UNCW and opening a new chapter in their lives: Josh Karns, Nate Galluppi, Ben Tyson, Laurel Servicky, Caroline Keith, Rachel Nagle, and Jill Capadanno. The dedication and hard work each one of you have put forth has made Teal TV reach new successful heights over the past year.
Thank each and every one of you, and you will all be very missed. Be sure to stop by tealtv.org to catch all of this year's Seahawks Central News episodes.
Signing off for the last time, I'm Genae Randall.
And I'm Sarah Lively saying, so long, Seahawks.